An award-winning poet, John Chambers has been published in The Spectator, The Irish Times, New Irish Writing, as well as many other Irish and international anthologies and magazines. His last publication, entitled Homer's The Odyssey, was edited in collaboration with Eurobox and released in June 2023. John is our special guest today to present us this literary work. So let's welcome him, who's right now connected with us. Hi, John. Welcome and thank you for accepting this interview.
Good morning, Ginevra.
So, first of all, let's introduce the book. What is Homer's The Odyssey about? It can be obvious, can it?
The book is the extraordinary story of an exceptional journey of a man coming home from a war. He's a family man who hasn't seen his newborn son or wife for 20 years. He's a war hero whose war is over. He's a leader who loses all his men. He is a traveler, an adventurer, a refugee. He's possibly the greatest liar in all of literature, but he's able to get to the truth of a situation. He's a very complex character, and Homer describes him as polytropous, which means complicated or many-sided. And it is an amazing, timeless story, and it's been a pleasure to be able to adapt it.
When did the idea to translate it come to your mind for the first time, and why?
I suppose I was always struck by the timelessness of Homer's story. In 2019, the BBC conducted a worldwide survey among writers, artists, filmmakers, university lecturers to find the most influential work of literature in the world, and the Odyssey came first. So I was always intrigued by it, and I love working in the sonnet form. And I have done a few sonnet sequences before in the past, published early sonnet sequences, and this was a challenge that I took on just before COVID and during COVID for about 3 years.
And since when have you had this passion for writing and poetry especially?
Well, I remember as a young child, a circus came to town, and it wasn't the elephants stumbling awkwardly on stools, or the clowns, or even the lazy lions, well-fed lions pawing at the lion tamer, but they brought out a tiger in a cage, and the ringmaster announced that it was too fierce to be allowed out. And I think the sonnet, which I specialize in, is a little bit like that. There's a cage of 14 lines with 10 beats to a line, 10 syllables to a line and 5 beats. And you have an intricate rhyming scheme. But that's just the cage, Ginevra. You need the tiger, you need the music, you need the trapped ferocious energy inside to make it worthwhile. And I just have always been, if you like, fascinated by the sonnet form.
What is the best moment in your daily routine, in your daily life, you decide to dedicate to writing or literature in general?
There's really no moment. I set aside maybe 2 hours every day. And when I was working, I was a school principal for many years. I would do that before or late at night. Now I have retired, and I can make the time far more easy.
Going back for 1 second to the book, what was the biggest challenge while adapting, while translating?
Ooh, that's a good question. It's a daunting task, really, because the book it's the wellspring of European literature. It's 3,000 years old, Homer's Odyssey, and it is the wellspring of every genre of literature: travel, adventure, spy, romance, horror, comedy. Homer's Odyssey contains it is a starting block of all these. So it's a daunting task to even do a prose translation of Homer, never mind to keep it in sonnet form. And what I hoped was that it would be accessible, the style would be accessible, that it would be conversational language, that would everyday language, nothing obscure. The only things I couldn't avoid were the proper names. Naturally, I had to use them, the Greek names all through. But it was a challenge, but it was a rewarding challenge, and I enjoyed the process. I was, of course, relieved and excited to land on Ithaca in the end when I got the final sonnet. There's I think 570 sonnets in the book, but it was a marvelous experience.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much again for your time, and we want to wish you best luck with your book.
Thank you very much. God bless. I will talk to you again.
A masterful translation of literature's greatest story. Chambers' stunning adaptation is loyal to Homer's epic and yet is absolutely original. Eurobox welcomes you on board this amazing voyage. Homer's The Odyssey, written by John Chambers, is now available in bookstores and digital platforms, a publication by Eurobox.